Hello everyone, and thank you for watching my latest video on how to repair the Kugoo S1 scooter that is beeping with the error 40. So I've been having this issue for the last few weeks. It only happened a couple of weeks after buying the scooter. So I couldn't find any other complaints in any other forums, so it must be an isolated issue. So let's get started on how to fix. So first of all, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking off this handle. I will be taking off the brakes and take off the whole thing from the stem by removing the two screws at the front and the back, and then hopefully just remove the screen, and that should give us enough access to remove the brakes. So we're going to need a few bits. So the first bit we're going to use is this hexagon bit. So we're going to take off the front two screws, and once we're done, we'll move on to the back and take the back two. So now that allows us to take off the bars from the stem, and there is a cable that we just need to disconnect, which is easy enough. Okay, now next thing we need to do is to try taking off the handlebar grip of the actual bar. So first of all, I am going to try just to use brute force, see if that works. Otherwise, I did notice a hole on the side of the bar, which I have an idea about. So brute force did not work at all. Couldn't even budge it a little bit. So I don't have an air compressor gun at home. So if you do, you can use an air compressor. But what I do have is a tire air compressor. So gone out to the car. So what I'm going to do is turn on the air compressor for the tire, make a nice seal around the hole, and then hopefully the air from the air compressor should push out the rubber grip from the handle. And it's very hard to do this while you're recording, but as you can see, it does start to shift it. There we go, move just a little bit, and as I carried on, it did do the whole thing. So we've got the grip off the handlebar now, so we can move over to the next stage to take off the screen. So to take off the screen is quite a simple process. You just get anything long where you can just poke the corner out. There we go, and then you can just pry along and take the rest of the screen off. So I believe there's 3 small clips on each corner and the bottom. It is quite fiddly, so do be a little bit patient with it. Not excessive force, but just enough force to take it off. Don't be too worried, it doesn't break too easy. So after about 5 minutes of struggling, I did manage to take it off. So here it is off, and that does reveal the board itself with all the connectors. So as I pull the board away, you can see the connectors that lead to the 3 bits connected to the bar is hidden away with a bit of heat wrap. So you just use a pair of scissors to cut that away. And that will reveal 3 separate connectors. So if we separate the connectors, it's pretty clear where they go. So one goes to the light in the middle, on the right it goes to the accelerator, and on the left connector goes to the brake, which is the one that we'll be dealing with. So pretty simple procedure. You just disconnect, and now it's time to take off the brake throttle. So you just move away the throttle a little bit with your hands and unscrew to loosen up the brake throttle. So at this point my battery does die, but what happens next is after the screw is removed, you take out the brake lever, the brake lead just comes out of a hole, you reverse the process and connect it back on again. What I do now is I just black tape the three connectors back together so they don't disconnect, and we put on the screen. So I found the best way to do it. I did fiddle about this again for about 5 minutes trying to figure out the best way to put it back on again, but if you place the two tops in first and then just use a bit of force to push in the last bottom clip, and it goes straight in, and then just push the corners down, and it's quite a snug fit. So we are 95% complete. So all we're doing now is we are reconnecting the cables back in again, and just a reminder, there is two arrows on either side of the cable to ensure you know which way to put the plugs back in again. And once we're done with that, we just tuck the cable into the stem and put the screws back in again. Just make sure it's all nice and tight. Before I complete everything, I'll just switch it back on again and just make sure it's all working. So while I've got the toolkit out, I thought I'll just open up the bottom tray and just show you guys what's inside the bottom underneath the kickboard. So you've got a large battery pack, the 6-amp battery pack on the left. You've got a controller box that sits on the right, which is the silver box. It's fixed in with about 4 screws, so it's pretty easy to remove, as is the battery. The red connector and the orange connector there is to the battery, and we've got a cable that goes across from the controller box to the rear motor. Also, there's a few cables that connect the controller box with a wire that goes up the stem to the handlebar, and that is it. So I'm really happy with the outcome. My scooter is now fully working and functional, and I have taken out for a test run outside and everything is working perfectly. So the error 40 is very scary, because at one point the brake just completely stopped working and I was heading towards a complete group of strangers. So please be careful out there and stay safe. So I'm pretty new to YouTube, so every single like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. If this video has helped, please press the thumbs up button, and I will see you at the next video. Thank you.